What is your American dream?
My American dream is sitting my ass on a beach. Cheers.
My American dream is to live here for 4 years with my family, opening an office and enjoying, with a lot of people from all over the world.
The American dream for me is just to be operating in a place to where you're doing your passion.
Everyone has a right to the American dream. Welcome, everybody. Today is August 25th. I said yesterday was August 25th, but I am now, I guess, back to the future and the present. I'm back to the present. I hope Yo-Yo and Ness-quick are also with me back in the present.
Here.
Well, because yesterday I said was today.
Today. And right. Today you said is day.
Is today. Okay. But I got it straightened out now.
You go, Brad.
Vanessa,
you go.
How do you look? How you doing today? You're looking great.
Thanks.
Ness-quick got the curls.
Yeah,
got the curls out today.
But you know what? You change your look all the time. Like you're never the same look.
I like
What's up with
keep
that?
Things exciting.
Like I can't do anything.
She wants to keep you guessing.
That's what you have me for, Brad.
I can't. I want to do so. I want to change my look every day. I look in the mirror. I say, what can I do?
Brad.
And the only thing I can come up with.
You can change your pocket square.
Brad.
Exactly. I change my pocket square. Sometimes it's white, sometimes it's blue. What?
You could do more than that. Come over to the crib. I got you. I got some girls out here that pick you up a little, a color here or there, maybe a little grow on, you know what I mean? Out here, we can do a lot in Harlem.
My son sent me this video of this guy who's spray painting his head. He goes, maybe for you, Dad. I go, thank you very much.
I know spray paint. See, I wouldn't have you like that. I would actually get like a real good one. I know some people.
I told him, I said, listen, like father, like son, so, you're gonna be like
right.
me too, so I wouldn't be laughing about me.
He'll be there with you soon.
Exactly. Let's say hello to Jessica Levy, Joel Reed, how are you? Dionne Watson, squad up. Denise Johnson Green, squad up. Joelle Finnegan, Dionne Reed, squad up. Damian Farquharson with updates on the furlough. He's beating me to it, but I'll update you too in about a minute or two. Sasha Ford, squad up. Roxanne Baptiste, squad up. Carol Anderson, the Tiger, says this is the greatest immigration show ever. Christy Kinsali saying, I look fine. Thank you very much, Christy. And on YouTube, Carol, double fisting. Jalove, squad up. Janice Williams, Vanessa Contreras, also known as Ness-quick, saying hello. Fiano Campbell, how are you? Squad up. Jessica Leamy saying squad up too. Anna Mitchell. James Cuttin with a question. We will get back to you in a little bit. And Beast Donraj saying Ness-quick looking beautiful.
Ooh, thank you.
And with that, and by the way, before I start stretching, I just want to remind everybody, before Vanessa and Yonathan reminds everybody to share, like, subscribe on YouTube and Facebook, and also follow us on Twitter. By the way, they're not talking for their health. They actually want you to do it. So please pay attention to them and actually do it. Also, later in the show, I will speak with Kristen Urkiza. Now, you may remember her. She spoke during the first night of the Democratic National Convention about her father, who passed away from the coronavirus, saying his only pre-existing condition was trusting Donald Trump. So we'll be with Kristen a little later. Yo-Yo and Vanessa, take it away while I do some stretching.
And all right, guys. So everybody on all social media platforms, the first things first is I need you guys all to go to Facebook and join the Facebook fan page. So this is the VIP page. All right. Am I good? Let me know if I'm good, because I feel like my internet connection is crazy.
You're good. Muy bueno.
I'm good.
Muy bueno.
All right. Nice. All right. So everybody, please go to the Facebook fan page. All you have to do is go to Facebook, go into the search button, and all you have to put in is Brad Show Live. This will get you on the VIP page. You get a lot of incentives. The most important thing is you can throw in your questions anytime throughout the day. You know, we get hundreds and hundreds of questions a day. But you guys can put your questions in anytime throughout the day, and you will get the first 5 questions we will ask before any of the questions at Social Media Check-In. So make sure you guys join the VIP page right now. Now for Facebook, I need you all to share this right now. You guys have been doing good with commenting. You guys love to talk to each other. We get the comments in. We get the interaction. But now I need you guys to go the extra step and press that little share button. All you have to do is click that little arrow that's pointing to the right and share it to anybody's page. You can share it to groups. You can share it in an inbox. Another way, like I say, every day, all you have to do is copy the link. Get a text message blast. Send it to your friends and family. We all know immigrants. We are immigrants. We know people who need help, or at least know people who need help. So all you have to do is send it to them, tell them about the show, and say, hey, if you know anybody that needs help, come into the show, all right? Throw in all your comments and your questions in the comment section right now as well, because, you know, after the segment where Brad takes all the calls, we will start reading Social Media Check-In questions. Now, Ness-quick, what are we going to do on YouTube?
On YouTube, squad, you should already be subscribed, and make sure you turn on that notification bell so you know when Brad's show is on live Monday through Friday. And like Yo-Yo said, we also want to hear you guys in the comments. So go ahead and leave your questions in the comment box. Our squad in the back is gathering those questions for Social Media Check-In. And I need to get a big thumbs up. I see some viewers and our thumbs up are not matching. So let's get that going, guys. Every time you turn that thumbs up blue, it just lets YouTube know that there are great things happening here, so it gets the word out. You can also share, copy this link, and send it as a text message. Direct message it to a friend on Facebook, anywhere, you guys. Share this. You already know that Brad is providing us with so much value and so much knowledge, and there might be somebody out there that doesn't even know that the Brad Show exists. And thanks to you for sharing it. Now they know it's there. So share, you guys. Let's get those thumbs up, because if not, I'm not going to have Brad answer those immigration questions. We're also on Instagram at Brad Show Live. So make sure you follow us there, where we share the best snippets on our show. And every now and again, there might be a contest, but you have to be following us on Instagram to see it. Without further ado, let's get to schmoozing with Brad.
All right. That was a fish. Where happened to that coffee cup? I wasn't ready yet. So according
it was
to
an espresso shot.
Yeah, that was like boom, boom, check, goodbye. That was like what that was. Meanwhile, multiple news outlets, including CBS News, is reporting that U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services will now abandon their plans to furlough more than 13,000 employees next week. The announcement averts a scenario that would have crippled the processing of applications for green cards, work permits, U.S. citizenship, and all other immigration benefits. In a message to employees obtained by CBS News, Deputy USCIS Director for Policy Joseph Edlow said the agency was able to avoid furloughing nearly 70% of its workforce because its financial situation has improved somewhat since the spring, when the coronavirus pandemic fueled an unprecedented drop in applications. They were going to let go yesterday more than 13,000 employees, 70% of the workforce, and all of a sudden they just found the money? I tried to do my best Scooby-Doo. Yeah, that's much better, Yo-Yo.
I've been called a dog once or twice in my lifetime.
Now, I said it yesterday, Ness-quick. I said, I heard it through the grapevine, also a song. We found out what a grapevine was. That was my favorite part of the show yesterday, because I never knew what a grapevine was. I heard it through the grapevine. They got the money. This is all a Trump thing. And now all of a sudden, boom, check, goodbye. I don't know why I'm just saying that. Boom, check, goodbye. They've got the money today. They didn't have it yesterday. They found enough money to pay 13,000 employees every week. Yesterday they didn't have this money.
Yeah. So where'd it come from?
Beats me. Now, USCIS, which is a division of the Department of Homeland Security, they first informed Congress of its financial problems in May. They requested Congress to give them $1.2 billion. However, the standoff between Congress and Trump with the stimulus package, they didn't get their money. They said they were going to let go of the 13,000 people. Then everyone started going up in arms. How could you fire 13,000 U.S. government workers? The U.S. government doesn't have money to pay their workers? Yo-yo, right. Scooby-Doo? Exactly. And then all of a sudden today...
Depends on the day, Brad. It's obviously... We don't have it on a Monday. That's too early in the week.
That's right.
But we're going to dig a little deeper. Maybe we'll have it on Tuesday.
You know, USCIS is self-funded with their filing fees, and apparently they got an avalanche of I-45 adjustment. I'm making that up. I mean, where did they just get money to pay people through the end of the year that they didn't have yesterday? It's crazy. Right. All politics. That's politics. And talking about politics and fake news, yesterday was the first night of the Republican National Convention. CNN reports that the 4 nights of the Democratic National Convention combined did not have the number of false claims that the Republicans made on their first night. For example, Ness-quick and Yo-Yo. A video that played during the convention began with a clip of Donald Trump saying, I didn't back down from my promises, and I've kept every single one. Now, Trump has certainly kept some of his 2016 promises. Do you think of a few promises he did not keep? Mexico is going to pay for a wall. He didn't keep that one.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get rid of Obamacare. Didn't do that one either. We're going to have 4% growth every year. It's going to be the greatest economy ever in the history of the United States. Didn't happen. The 20% unemployment right now. So, as a matter of fact, fact-check website PolitiFact had tracked 100 Trump promises. It found that 49% of the 100 promises have been broken. Another false claim, by the way, happened when former UN Ambassador Nikki Haley attacked Democratic positions on health care, saying they want a government takeover of health care. Now, that was Bernie Sanders' position, but Bernie Sanders did not win the Democratic nomination. That is not Biden's position, but that is what the Republicans are saying to scare moderate voters who believe that the government is going to take away their health insurance that they already have. Patricia McCloskey, the woman who, along with her husband Mark McCloskey, the gun-toting suburbanites, right? They are the ones who pointed guns at protesters as they were marching past their home. They claim that the Democrats want to just get rid of suburbs. In other words, how do you get rid of a suburb? You make zoning changes that you can have multi-family homes and multi-family buildings. That is not true. It is not part of any Democratic plan to make the suburbs of America in any city multi-family or to start building multi-unit apartments and buildings throughout the suburbs. First of all, the national government can't do it. It's all local anyway.
Right.
But that's what they are claiming nevertheless.
That video annoyed me, though. That video, it literally took me back to the 50s and 60s, and it just like all I saw, like what I've seen growing up, like learning for civil rights, like it literally was like that family that was like, oh, these radicals, these radicals are out here, and they gave me a felony because I was just protecting my, it was like, what? It was wild. Like what they were saying was wild to me.
It was wild.
I could not understand that this was 2020 and this was the
Well,
Republican
Brad
Party
mentioned
that
it
they.
yesterday. It's starting to look like it might be like a civil. Not, I mean, we said
A
civil war, but it's like
That
the
right there,
outrage.
like, would have caused, like, it would easily cause a civil war. I feel like if everybody saw that, like, I don't know, I just got a nasty, nasty feeling from that video.
Well, there were multiple parts of the Republican National Convention that you could argue was fascist in nature.
Yeah.
When what's the woman's name who is the girlfriend of Don Jr. What's her name? Kim Guilfoyle. She kept saying, "They're taking away this from you. They're taking."
Yes.
Who is they? And she was screaming at the top of her lungs, screaming more than I am right now, and I'm a screamer. Okay.
Her.
Right, and then she claimed that she comes from an immigrant family because her father's Puerto Rican. But the one thing, her mother is Puerto Rican and her father is Irish. Okay, but you know what? Puerto Rico are Americans. People born in Puerto Rico are Americans. They've been Americans since the late 1800s. So there is no Puerto Rican that's an immigrant.
Right.
So she's claiming she comes from a family of immigrants, but in fact, she is not. Meanwhile, new statistics are coming out that immigrant voters could be pivotal this fall to the election outcomes in some battleground states, including Texas, Georgia, Virginia, and Florida. Foreign-born voters are going to make up 10% of the electorate in 2020. Now, not all immigrants vote alike, but growing foreign-born populations are expected to help Democrats amid the Trump anti-immigrant rhetoric. But, you know, I've met lots and lots and lots of immigrants who want to vote for Trump. What is your feelings on this? 10% of the voters were born in another country. They can swing an election.
I think
citizens.
I think any immigrant that wants to vote for Trump is not voting for him for the right reasons. Obviously, I think that immigrants that probably want to vote for Trump are people who want to be as close to American as possible, trying to be as close as what Trump is saying these horrible immigrants are. So it's like, hey, if I support this man who talks about these people, I'm trying to take myself away from the immigrants that he's talking about, and I want to be more American. And I think that's the only reason why you would vote for Trump as an immigrant.
What do you find, Ness-quick?
I've actually I've been kind of surprised. Anyone that's an immigrant, nevertheless a young immigrant, let's say, or it doesn't matter, young or old, any immigrant that's voting for Trump is just looking out for their pocket.
What about the idea that I floated yesterday that somebody told me that they're trying to assimilate and be American and they're trying to be so American and downplay their own culture? I know that's what you said.
Yeah, that's what
Mm-hmm.
Because I see that. I see that every day, even here in Harlem. I see immigrants who want to be as close to Americans as possible because, you know, the stuff that they go through as immigrants, you are separated from the norm. You're treated different. So this right here showing that, hey, I'm that American man. I will vote for the Republican Party. I think that's the only reason why an immigrant would vote for someone like Trump.
Now, changing subjects for a second, because you're a big TikTok person, Yo-Yo. I don't know, Vanessa, you a TikTok? I'm not on TikTok. You a big TikTok?
I'm not, Brad.
What?
No.
I know.
I'm not.
Why am I not on it?
Yeah, I'm trying to get you on there.
I was having a hard time figuring it out. I would be on it if I knew how to use it.
I was shamed into not doing it.
You should never be shamed into not doing it.
I was shamed into it because my kids shame me all the time. And they said, Dad, you're too old for TikTok. I was shamed.
That's a lie. There are people older than you that have TikToks that are viral, that are making big money.
Yeah, you give me...
Probably more than all of us put together.
All right, give me the name of that person, because I'm forwarding it to my kids right now.
I'll send it to you.
And then I'm going to say,
have Grandma Sharon.
tomorrow.
And they're endorsed. So please don't let your kids shame you. They'll probably be jealous if you get more followers than them.
Now, the video app is now suing the Trump administration over its efforts to ban TikTok in the United States. TikTok is owned by China's ByteDance and insisted Monday that it is not a national security threat. Apparently, when you log into TikTok, what the Trump administration is alleging, I don't want to say apparently because we don't know, but what the Trump administration is alleging is that when you log into TikTok, the Chinese military is able to now track your movements by your telephone. And
wasn't that? I feel like that. I heard that was the original reason, or that was the original thing they did when they.
That was the original reason, and that that the Chinese government is tracking where Americans are going, what they're doing, perhaps even by logging in to TikTok. The Chinese government, presumably, if they wanted to, would be able to infiltrate your phone and take your information. Now, generally speaking, if the Chinese government wants the list of my contacts who I'm calling, take them. What do I care?
Right.
I know. So, I mean, to me,
same here.
To me,
I feel like they already have it.
Yeah, like everyone has it anyway. What do I care? To me, it's if you're aware that there's a possibility the Chinese government is watching you or taking your information or following you. If Xi, what's the Prime Minister Xi or President Xi of China wants to know where I'm eating dinner and where I'm living and where I'm working every day, and he's that interested in when I get into a taxi cab and go somewhere, let him follow me. What do I care where? But if you on the other hand are concerned about your privacy, or you work in an area that is very sensitive for the U.S. military, the U.S. government, maybe you don't want to have TikTok. But that doesn't mean that it should be completely banned. We live in a free society. Right. Let society decide let the free market decide whether or not we want TikTok.
They're obviously not trying to ban it because of that. It's a deeper rooted issue, and I think it's because it has so much influence on the youth. It has so much influence on so many different cultures, and they're talking down on Trump. Like, nobody on TikTok really likes Trump.
Of course not.
There's a small portion, but I think that's the main reason. They could care. They barely care about us having COVID. So why they care about somebody hacking into our phone?
I think that could be a reason. I don't think that's the main reason. What do you think, Vanessa?
No, I agree with Yo-Yo. Like, it definitely does have an influence, but I just feel like, especially now that people are just home, like on TikTok, they're gonna try to control everything that they can control. So if TikTok is what's brainwashing people right now, like let's try to limit that too.
I think that it's a rivalry now. It used to be, the rivalry used to actually be United States-Russia, but the rivalry now is U.S.-China. And, the United States used to be the big kid on the block. Nobody was close to the power of the United States in terms of military, in terms of our economy. Well, guess what? China has a big military now. China has a huge economy. They have 25% of the world population. Do you know, a very interesting statistic, that if a UFO came down out from space, and we know UFOs are here, we just haven't confirmed them yet.
Yes, they are.
They are here.
Yes.
And some little green guy comes out of the UFO, and he says, "Take me to the most typical human being." You would say, okay, well, they'll take you somewhere in Wisconsin. You know where they would go? To the most typical human being on Earth? They would go to the middle of China and find a Chinese male in his 20s. That is the most typical human being on Earth.
Because there's the most of...
And Jill is just whispering in my ear, it's not even 25% of the world's population. It is now 36% of the world's population. So
Male.
China and India together are 36%. So 1 out of 3
that I
people are
could see.
either Chinese or Indian. But I know 25% is almost China, I believe. Now, you've got to, if you're a businessman, why in the world would Donald Trump want to start I mean, yes, they are our rivals. But ultimately, if the United States wants to sell a product somewhere, or any country wants to sell a product somewhere, you're going to be selling it in China. That's 1 out of 4 people in the world live in China. Right. So to me, this whole TikTok thing, because where does the United States beat China? Everywhere, on computers and social media. So this is like the first social media to come outside of the United States. And I think the United States is trying to protect its interests more than anything else. But also, Yo-Yo, you're right as well.
Yeah. Because I mean, when you're talking about like them coming into our phones and our business, I mean, didn't Russia do that as well? Like with them interfering, trying to help Trump's administration. So I'm like, Homeland Security was,
that was okay because they were helping Trump.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
That was okay because they're helping Trump.
They don't care about us. They don't really care about us. Y'all don't know about Michael Jackson. He was telling y'all. He's trying to tell y'all. Michael Jackson was trying to tell y'all years ago.
Meanwhile, sadly in Wisconsin, I just mentioned Wisconsin, but sadly in Wisconsin, there was another police shooting of a black man named Jacob Blake as his children watched from the car. 2 Wisconsin police officers are now on leave. Blake is in serious condition. His father says he may never walk again. A short video of the shooting.
Paralyzed.
A short video of the shooting has garnered over 700,000 views. It has sparked more protests. CNN reports that buildings and cars were set on fire during the second night of protest. A fire was started at a county courthouse. According to witnesses, Blake had been breaking up a fight between 2 women. Police said they were called to respond to a domestic disturbance. It's not clear from the video if one or both officers fired. The state agency aims to submit a report to prosecutors within 30 days. Who knows whether that will be a truthful report or will not be a truthful report. It's just extraordinarily sad. And all of this, if you watched the Republican Party last night, they were parading black politicians up and saying how wonderful Trump is to the black community. But you won't hear them say one word about this police shooting of another unarmed black man.
He's paralyzed, though, from the waist down. They just came out and said it today that he'll be paralyzed from the waist down.
And it was shot in the back.
7 times.
Yeah.
Shot in the back.
Wait, but I saw the video.
Shot in the back.
Yes.
Yeah, I saw the video earlier today.
Shot in the back.
Yes.
Multiple times.
Whatever he did, he didn't deserve to be shot in the back. We don't know what happened beforehand. It's possible he did a lot. We have no idea what he did beforehand. I only saw that last part of the video. But whatever he did,
he was walking away.
He was walking away. He didn't deserve. You want to chase the guy down. You want to tackle him, arrest him.
Do what you need to do.
Do what you need to do. But don't shoot the man in the back.
7 times.
Do you know?
Another.
Do you know what propelled Barack Obama to the presidency? The black male vote.
Oh yeah.
Black men came out to vote for Obama at record levels. The reason Hillary Clinton is not president of the United States of America is because black men did not come out to vote at the levels that they voted for Barack Obama. It is not a coincidence that the Republicans were parading blacks up there, black men up on their podium to sow some doubt in some of the voters to say, well, maybe it's not that important if I go out and vote for Biden. Maybe I won't vote for Trump, but maybe it's not that important that I go out and vote for Biden. Don't think that's not what they're trying to do.
Right.
Suppressing the black vote is the key for Donald Trump to win.
Yeah, that's deep.
That's deep.
I don't know what's going to happen in Wisconsin. I pray for this guy, Jacob Blake. I'm just dumbfounded that a police officer, after all the shit that has happened this year,
right?
Yep.
That a
Did you want to
police
do that
officer in this day and age would turn around and shoot a black man in the back. How in the world does this even happen?
It's wild. Like, this does not seem like, it's just wild to me that I'm going through this as an adult, or just me being alive. This is stuff that I've read about. You read about slavery, you read about the civil rights era, and we are literally living in those days. It's just wild to me.
And the reality is, you don't even know what to tell your children. Cooperate, you get your knee on the neck. Walk away, you get shot in the back.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Meanwhile, according to statistics from the Johns Hopkins University, there are now over 23 million coronavirus cases worldwide, 815,000 people dead, 178 deaths in the United States of America. And Donald Trump, last night, is saying that Joe Biden will not protect America. That Donald Trump has protected America by being tough on immigration. He let America down. 178,000 Americans are dead. And millions of people have lost their job, but 178,000 people are dead that shouldn't be dead because of coronavirus. That doesn't mean that the President of the United States would have prevented 178,000 deaths. But we certainly wouldn't be leading the world in deaths, in percentages of people who are ill, and you can't blame it because we're testing more. Percentages are percentages are percentages. Deaths are deaths are deaths. Period.
Right.
Yeah.
Numbers don't lie.
Yeah. Meanwhile, finally, there's more to talk about, but we got to get to immigration questions. But finally, if all of this wasn't bad enough, well, I got to tell you, 2020 keeps getting better every day. We have a pandemic, civil unrest, U.S. election, pumpkins, and now on the day before the presidential vote, NASA is saying that there is an asteroid heading straight to Earth that is going to hit Earth on November 2nd.
Oh, no, what?
Yes, we need Bruce Willis. We got to get Bruce Willis in.
I can't take no more in 2020.
Can you imagine asteroid coming the day before? You ever see that movie where Bruce Willis goes up on the asteroid and blows up the asteroid to save Earth? Remember that movie? Or I'm dating myself.
I can't take no more.
NASA said in a statement, this asteroid is very small. It's approximately 6.5 feet. It's no threat to Earth. Don't worry. And NASA says that if it does hit Earth, we have enough hydrochloroquine that it will save everybody. Doesn't say that.
Well, all these crazy natural disasters. Did you guys also
the movie was Armageddon, by the way.
Armageddon.
Yes, Armageddon.
Yes. Now, NASA...
There's been the first time in history, there's been 2 hurricanes at once in the Caribbean. Did you guys know about that also?
I do know about that. I passed over it, but I happen to have it in my Bradshaw Live cards.
Yeah, Laura and Marco.
It is Laura and Marco. Now,
hey!
Yes, correct. Now...
Asteroids, hurricanes.
CNN is reporting, Ness-quick, that Laura is now a hurricane. It's forecast to strengthen before hitting the Gulf Coast. And Marco has been downgraded to a tropical storm. So at this moment, it is not a hurricane. Laura has already been deadly in the Dominican Republic. The Dominican Republic experienced Laura's wrath on Sunday. 9 people died in the Caribbean from this storm already. So we have one tropical storm that could gain strength, and it may be a hurricane, and we have one that's already a hurricane.
See, this is trifling, man. I just can't take. Y'all came on a close-up on me on this one. Y'all see, I'm frustrated, y'all. I'm frustrated. I had to call my family, my friend's family. They're over there already, starting to pack up and buy water, buy ice because they just know that that power's about to go out. It's horrible.
Yeah, it's terrible.
So everybody that's watching from out there, Texas and Florida and all that, please make sure that you guys go and start preparing. Because I hear it was Laura that's going to Texas. That's where we have family out. Me and my friends, we have family out there, and they're already like going around. We were sending them portable chargers and all of that. So,
well, everyone stay safe. Sure just out of curiosity, what do you think we're going to do on December 31st, 2020? Are we going to celebrate that 2020 is over?
Right.
I mean, what are we going to be celebrating on December 31st, 2020?
You know what? I would celebrate if it was like, hey guys, I'm just giving you a horrible year for 2020, but starting January 1st, 2021, your shit is going to be great.
Right.
I would celebrate from that, but knowing that that's not the case, it still might go on to January, February. We don't know how long. You can't celebrate.
I'm going to tell you something. On December 31st, I want to find where Kanye is because he has this happy birthday party. And I want to join his party. And I say in 2021, it's everybody's birthday every day. That's what Kanye said, right?
Yes. To me, it's a minus birthday party.
Yeah.
Because this year, I don't think that any of us have grown a year older. Well, I'm not going to count 2020. So I'm still the same year I was last year. So December 31st will be our backwards birthday.
Well, if 2020 is if 2021 is as bad as 2020, I'm gonna start Kanye for president. It's everybody's birthday every day.
You may as well.
I mean, might as well, right? And might as well at that point. All right, why don't you tell everybody what they need to do while I get ready to answer their immigration questions?
Absolutely. All right, guys, this is the time you guys have all been waiting for. We're going to answer immigration questions. So what I need you all to do on Facebook is start your watch parties. It's so simple. I tell my mom how to do this. If she could do it, y'all could do it too. All you have to do is click on share, host a watch party, start. It will take the video from our page to your page. You are the host with the most, the hostess with the mostest, the Brad, the Yon, the Yo-Yo, the Ness-quick, whoever you want to be. You could be Groundhog Sam if you want to. All right, you are the host, so make sure you let everybody know in the comment section about the show. Teach them, let them know, because we even asked y'all questions last night. We asked you guys a question. We had no answer to one of the questions, and somebody came in and was like, "Oh, this is exactly what it is." So y'all already know what we're talking about. So school your friends and your family that come on to your watch party and let them know to come to the page and make sure they ask questions. We are here to help people. The only way we can get to them is if you guys share it, all right? Ness-quick, how can they share it on YouTube?
Okay, squad. So on YouTube, you should already be subscribed to our channel and turned on that notification bell so you know when Brad's show is on Monday through Friday. Hope you put your comments and questions in the comment section below and grab that share link. So you're going to see an arrow right below, and that'll allow you to copy the link, and then you can go ahead and share. Like Yo-Yo said, we are a community here. So make sure that you help this community grow. We cannot do it alone. You guys see how many times you're helping us out during conversations on the show. Go ahead and tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend, because you never know when the questions that Brad is answering live is a question that they may have. There might be a struggle that they're going through, and by you sharing this feed right now, it'll bring some answers to them that maybe they couldn't afford or needed a great lawyer like Brad. We're also on Instagram, so make sure you catch us there at Brad Show Live. Follow us, and you'll catch the best snippets of our show. Every now and again, we have a contest, but you must be following us so that we're on there. Let's see those thumbs up also on YouTube, friends, because Brad is about to answer your immigration questions, but I need these interactions, these reactions. So Get those thumbs up going. I see 158 people watching and only 42 thumbs up. I think Brad deserves a little bit more than that.
Come on, y'all.
Crank those up. Crank
Crank
those
it.
up. Alrighty, guys. Let's get to what you've been waiting for. Getting the answers to your immigration questions.
There we go. I think Julie and the TriCasters guy's fingers are a little slippery today. Let's go to Susan in Brighton, Michigan. Susan.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I have a question. Is it that a employer could file for a green card for an employee?
The answer is yes. If you're talking about a green card, generally an employer would do a labor certification. You got to prove you're not taking a job away from an American, which is difficult these days because there's so much high unemployment. Now, assuming you get through that and your employer can afford to pay your offered salary, that would be proven in the I-140 stage. So it would be labor application stage, which is called the perm now. And generally, there's a lot to do in a perm, but the general idea is you got to prove you're not taking a job away from an American. And then you do the visa petition, and there's a lot to do in that visa petition, and you definitely need a lawyer, but the general idea is, do you have a labor application, and can the employer pay your salary? And then you become eligible for a green card, depending on what category you're in. Perhaps you have a waiting list, perhaps not. And then the $1 million question, it's not really a $1 million question, but we like to use these catchphrases. The $1 million question is, can you get your green card in America? Are you in a legal status? If you're not in legal status, did you overstay by more than 180 days? If you have not overstayed by more than 180 days or you're in legal status, you can adjust. Otherwise, you would need to be 245I, which means you had something filed before April 2001. And as we get to 2020 and 2021 and 2022, I find there's less and less people who are actually grandfathered in. Are you eligible for a provisional waiver? Do you have a parent here if you're out of status, or a spouse here if you're out of status, to go home and come back through a job sponsorship? So, there's a lot of tricky things with job sponsorships. A, you got to stay in status. B, you got to, because you got to figure out how you're going to get your green card at the end. You got to have an employer who's willing to sponsor you, prove you're not taking a job away from an American, and prove the employer can afford to pay your salary.
Okay, Brad, thank you so much.
All right, you're very welcome. I don't know if that was helpful or not, but that's basically what it is about job sponsorships.
Oh, yes, it is.
Okay.
You are very helpful.
Thank
you.
Okay. All right, let's go to Bilal in Boston, Massachusetts. Bilal.
Hello, Brad Show.
How you doing?
Hello, how are you doing?
Hello, Bilal.
I'm good.
Show.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. So I have a question regarding the adjustment of status. So do we have to, if we are filing for the adjustment of status, do one have to include the I-944 form these days?
The I-944 you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're in New York, Connecticut, and Vermont, you do not. In all other 47 states, yes.
But like the USCIS website...
I know, but they haven't updated it. But the Second Circuit Court of Appeals overruled the judge, and now it's only for New York, Connecticut, and Vermont. Everybody else, you either move to New York, Connecticut, and Vermont, or you do the 944.
Okay, and finally, I have a question. Like, my U.S. citizen spouse just started working months back, and from January 2018, I was working on campus on F1 visa. So can we go ahead and file for my adjustment of status?
Yes, but I don't know what your income is or anything. I would have to look at all your tax returns.
So for the last for 2019, income joint income was approximately $25,000. But for 2020, it will be more than like $40,000.
It depends what your wife's income was.
Sorry?
It depends what your wife's income was.
For 2019, it was she didn't work. Her income was zero.
Yeah, you're probably going to need a second affidavit support, is my guess.
So if we do not affidavit, suppose should we wait or should we go ahead and file?
No, go file, because you're not going to wait around forever. But it would be helpful if you had one. They look at the totality of circumstances.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, let's go to Peter in Queens. Peter. Peter.
Yes. Hi.
Oh, I was about to say goodbye to Peter. How are you? Peter, let's go! All right, I don't know what Peter's sleeping. Somebody wake Peter up. Gabby in Dallas. Gabby.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, Gabby. How are you?
I'm good. Can you hear me now?
I do.
I'm driving.
I do.
Okay. 3 quick questions. So me and my husband been married since December of 2019. It's a legit bona fide marriage.
Right.
He had to go back to his country because he works for the government and because of his job. Okay, so he will be back here in September. My question is, when he come back, can we do the adjustment status, or does he have to wait 90 days and then do the adjustment status?
Well, if you're coming back as a visitor, you can't come back to get a green card. So he has to come back with the intention of visiting. If he comes back with the intention of getting a green card, you would be denied. How do they determine whether you have the intention of getting a green card or the intention of visiting? They ask you at the airport. They look at your luggage. Do you have 20, luggages? They may look at your phone where you're talking about meeting the attorney next week. But if you are legitimately coming to visit, and then you wait 90 days, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you go, Eureka! I don't think anyone says Eureka anymore, but if you say Eureka, I'm going to get my green card. Well, you've changed your mind. That's what the law says.
Okay, so
the answer is 90 days. The answer is 90 days. Yes.
Awesome. And the other question is, he does have a son, and I would like to apply for him too, who's 3 years old. Can I apply for him after 90 days when I do my husband? Can I do my stepson?
Absolutely.
Or can I do him before?
Do everybody together.
Also, and my last question is I guess that's my question. So since I'm doing the 90 days, so the physical, the biometric, he could do his physical anytime while he's here?
They're gonna ask you to bring the physical to the time of the interview, so you don't need it to file.
So we could do it after the application.
Correct.
Okay, and the public charge form, they did remove the form.
Now you're back. Texas. You're in Texas. You got to do the 944.
Yes, I'm in Texas, but they removed the form off the website.
That's weird because they have to put it back now because of the Second Circuit decision.
Oh, so he did. So hopefully 90 days the form will be back there.
But you want to know what? If Biden becomes president, there will be no 944. So let's hope. Okay?
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, Gabby. Good luck.
Have a blessed one.
You too. All right. Let's go to Ali in Buffalo. Ali.
Hello, Brad.
How you doing?
Thanks for taking my call. I'm good. How are you?
Good.
All right. So my question might be a long one. I'm sorry. I just wanted to explain myself. All right. So me and my wife applied for I-485, I-130, and I-765. My wife is an American citizen. On March 26th, and I received a courtesy letter for the medical in May 1st, and then I have no updates, no biometrics appointments or anything. And right now I'm working under OPT STEM extension, which will expire in February 14, 2021. So I wasn't that worried until they changed the processing times to 37 months. And if they don't get me my EAD back in time, our annual salary is going to go down from like $85,000 a year to like $20,000 a year. My wife only makes
if you file for an extension, you're entitled to work legally for 180 days beyond that.
No. I'm working under extension right now. That extension is going to expire on February 14th.
Okay. So what are you saying? The work permit for your adjustment? You're concerned
Yeah,
about?
work permit for my adjustment.
Well, you got to hope they give it to you. There's no way around it.
Do you think I have grounds for expedite?
Yeah, you should. You could always request an expedite based on humanitarian. What's the worst they'll say is no.
I mean, yeah, okay.
All right, so do it.
I just wanted to ask you that I was.
Yeah, there's nothing bad will happen to you. You should do it. Why not?
All right.
That wasn't so long. I'm all relaxed here, waiting on this whole history of a question, and you got it out in about 45 seconds. Congratulations. All right. All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Akoy in Newark. Akoy.
Hi, Mr. Bray. Good evening.
Good. What's going on?
I'm all right. I have two questions.
Yes.
The first question is, I had an interview on April but was cancelled. Then they got another interview again in 2 weeks' time. And I already filed an abuse case already. So I don't know what to do. Should I attend this interview?
Yes, and bring the receipt for the abuse case, and they'll keep your adjustment open pending the resolution of the abuse case.
So I should go to the interview on that day.
You have an interview based on a marriage that ended, that is now over. You have subsequently filed an abuse case. I assume you have a receipt for that. You go on that interview with the receipt for the abuse case. You present it to the officer. The reason my wife's not here is I filed for abuse. The officer will ask you questions about your marriage and hold your case open until the abuse case is approved, hopefully.
Okay, thank you. The second question is also, my authorization card is about to expire in 4 months. In December.
Renew it.
Renew it?
Yep.
Okay. All right, thanks.
All right.
That's all.
You're welcome. Now, his question was longer than Ali's. He just was a much slower talker. Let's go to Peter in Queens. Peter.
Hi, Brad. I'm sorry I got disconnected.
No worries. I got you now. What's going on?
Brad, I really love your show. You do a great job.
Thank you.
I'm trying to apply for citizenship. I've had my permanent residency for the last 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
The problem is I had a DUI 3 years ago. I understand it's 5-year statutory period after a conviction to establish a good moral character.
But your DUI was 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Right. So
the thing is, my wife became a citizen in 2016.
Ah, okay. So this is what you should do.
So do I qualify for 3 year statutory period?
Yes. You don't have to get your green card through a U.S. citizen spouse to qualify. You just have to have a green card and be married to a U.S. citizen for 3 years, because the first U.S. Attorney Sessions, even though DUI is not a deportable offense, he made a ruling that DUI is bad moral character per se. So if you have a DUI, you can't prove good moral character. You can only prove good moral character from the end of the DUI to the present. So you have a DUI in 2016. So you have approximately 3.5 years or 4 years of good moral character. So if you were if your wife was not a citizen, then you would have to base your citizenship on 5 years. You would be denied because you don't have the 5 years good moral character. If you file your naturalization, you check off, I'm married to a U.S. citizen for 3 years, and you got to provide your marriage certificate, proof of your wife's citizenship, proof of the bona fides of your marriage. Then they're going to interview you based on 3 years good moral character, which you would have.
I hear that. The thing is, I did not marry my wife for paper.
That doesn't matter. You're married to her. It's a bona fide marriage. That's it. You live with her. You have a bona fide marriage.
So I still have to go through all the marriage thing, like
correct.
You got the marriage certificate.
You have to prove you and your wife live in a bona fide marriage. A bona fide marriage. If you've watched my show, all right. I've said it a gazillion times. You live together. You have a financial relationship.
Okay. All righty. Thank you so much, Brad.
All right. Good luck.
We really appreciate that.
All right. Let's go to Philip in Anaheim, California. Philip.
Hi. How are you doing, guys?
Good. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. My question is, me and my wife, we went for a green card interview last week, and this week I got a letter that they need a request for evidence, which we expected. They told us they're gonna send the request, so we're gonna mail them the request back, the information for the request back. And I just wanted to ask you, because my work permit is ending in 4 months, and if I don't get any information from them,
you should renew your work permit. Renew it now, because you never know.
So I'm gonna do that.
Yeah.
And another question is, because I was arrested, and when I can become a citizen after that, is it 3 years in the marriage, or is it 5 years from the arrest?
3 years from the marriage, assuming you have good moral character, but you wouldn't get a green card if you don't have good moral character.
Right. Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Let's go to Winnie in Fargo, North Dakota. Winnie. All right, someone see if we can get Winnie on the line. Let's go to Sean in Queens, New York. Sean.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, my name is Shannon. I'm calling in from Queens, New York.
Yes.
Hi, Brad.
How are you, Sean, from Queens, New York?
I am a permanent resident, and I filed for an I-20 for my husband who came up on a J-1 visa and never returned. He does not have the 2-year ban on it, though, and I got an approval notice in April.
Is he still in legal status?
Yes. Is he still in what?
Is he still in legal status?
I don't think he is right now.
If he's not in legal status, then he would have to wait for you to become a citizen.
Okay, so when I become a citizen, I should apply for...
Right. As a lawful resident, you could only adjust if you're in legal status married to a lawful resident.
Oh, okay, all right.
But U.S. citizen, you could overstay. All right?
All right, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. All right, let's go to Rita in Houston. Rita.
Hi, Brad.
Hi, Rita. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing very well. Thank you for everything that you do. So
My
I have
pleasure.
one very quick question.
Yes.
I filed for my adjustment of status. I think on the 1st of August when they had taken off the Form 1944.
Right.
So I put everything, but I didn't put in that form. So my question is, I heard they have reinstated the form. What happens to people that have applied without the form?
They'll do what's called RFE, which is a request for further evidence. They'll ask you for it now, later. Don't do it now. I mean, you could look at the form. You could, take a look at it. What do I need? What do I have to do? But don't submit it. Don't do anything until they ask for it. So when you get an RFE, that is a request for further evidence. It's basically a letter from the government. Sometimes you may hear people say, I got an I-797, because that's the form number on the bottom of the RFE. But an I-797 could be a receipt notice, an approval notice. It could be any notice from immigration. So sometimes you hear people say it's an I-797, it's an RFE, but it's an RFE. And they send you a letter saying you're missing this document, and then you'll submit it.
Okay, but on their website, they stated that we should not submit.
They have not
document.
updated it. They have not updated it. They're screwing people up.
Okay. That's crazy.
Yep.
Okay, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Let's go to Marco in Astoria. Marco.
Hi, Uncle Brad.
Hi, how are you?
God bless you, Uncle
Thank
Brad.
you.
I
Thank
have 2 questions, Uncle Brad. Can you help me, please?
I'll try my best.
Thank you, Uncle Brad. So my VAWA was approved on March 2020. The priority date on the approved VAWA is August 2017. I filed the I-485 on December 2018, and I was married to a U.S. citizen.
Whoops, we lost Marco. Marco, okay. Yeah, I lost you. So you have the VAWA was approved March 2020. You were married to a U.S. citizen, and your adjustment was filed in 2018. You figure about 9-10 months from March, you should be getting an interview.
By
the end of the year, probably.
Oh yeah. Oh,
it's not in a year. By the end of the year, hopefully.
Great.
Right. Okay.
And Uncle Brad, do you do EB-5 visas? And if I have a sister from Ecuador that she's a doctor,
Sure.
Is there a way to get the green card for her with you?
Yeah. Hold on 1 second. You can make an appointment.
Okay.
Let's go to D.C. in Atlantic City. D.C.
Hello, sir. Do you hear me?
Yes. How you doing?
First of all, thank you for all you do. Love your show.
Thank you.
I have a quick question. I submitted my K-1 petition for my Dominican fiance a few days ago to one of the services. Mm-hmm. Now, they're going to submit it to the USCIS within a few days. Best case scenario, no RFPs or anything like that.
Wait. What do you mean you submitted it to a service? I don't understand.
One of the rapid visa.
Oh, okay. All right. So you did some non-lawyer form person. Oh, got it.
Right.
Okay. All right. So your question is what?
So, best case scenario, how soon do you think we'll get her interview, assuming we don't get any RFEs or anything like that?
9-10 months. Because you got 9-10 months. You got to get the I-129 approved, and then you got to do biographic data and affidavits of support. So you got to figure it's at least 9-10 months if everything goes very fast.
Okay, one more question. I make about $90K, right? Now she's going to do the looking forward. If she has to do the 944, are they going to consider her a public charge even though I make that much money?
No, because you have two positives. I assume you're a single person. So you've got yourself, and you're over 60. If you're over 64,000 with a family of 4, you're okay. So 90 is a family of 1.
Thank you so much for everything you do, and Squad also. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys. What do I got to say? I'll be back in 30 seconds after this education, in which I answer the question: as a green card holder, am I entitled to government benefits? You can get all sorts of benefits as long as you have the green card. You can't get the benefits before you get the green card, but certainly after you get a green card, you're entitled to government benefits. The problem becomes that if somebody provided an affidavit of support for you, they may be on the hook for the benefits that you're receiving because the government may turn around and sue them for their failure to support you 125% above the poverty level. But in terms of government benefits, of course. All right, if you didn't get your questions answered, we're going to be coming up with social media check-in in about a minute and a half or 2 minutes from now. So leave your questions in the comment section. Hopefully Yo-Yo and Vanessa catches it and will ask it of me. You could also follow me on @Real Brad Bernstein on Instagram. That is usually where you can find me. You could drop me a DM on Instagram. I'll try to answer your questions to the best of my ability if I can, or I'll tell you to make a consultation with me if it's more complicated than yes, no, or something like that. Also, you can follow us on Instagram at Brad Show Live. Eventually, we will be live on Instagram too, I assume. And you can follow us at Brad Show Live on Instagram and get the best 1 to 2 minute munchable, biteable videos from Brad Show Live. If you can't handle 2 hours of Brad Show Live, but you can handle 2 minutes, best place to go is Brad Show Live on Instagram. And Yo-Yo and Vanessa. And Yo-Yo says you can follow me on all social media platforms on Yonathan Elias TV.
You can hear me. You can hear me now.
Yes.
All right, you guys can follow me at Yonathan Elias TV on all social media platforms.
That's exactly what I said. And Vanessa?
Yes, it is.
You guys can follow me on Instagram at Vanessa.Contreras TV.
All right, thank you very much. So in today's Spar Bernstein Close-Up, we're going to be back for social media check-in in about 1 minute. But in today's Spar Bernstein Close-Up, immigration attorney and partner Shannon LaGuerre-Maingrette gives advice on how to navigate your immigration case during the COVID pandemic. Let's watch.
You need to speak to your attorney. You need to ask them, what is the strategy? How do we move forward? Will I still be able to either keep my green card, get a green card? And so these are things that you need to sit down with your attorney and talk about. You also have to be patient. This is not normal because this is a whole pandemic that's affected the entire United States. And the judges' unions, the government attorneys' unions have been fighting really hard. They are trying to find a way to keep everyone protected. And so we need to be understanding of that too, but also understanding how do we move forward from this? Will I be protected? Make sure you keep in contact with your attorney, because if somehow you're depending on a qualifying relative where that person's going to age out, then you need to speak to the attorney. What can we do? Because I need to make sure that I'm able to get this green card or this level of relief. So very important to speak to your attorney during this time.
All right, let's do something we like to call social media check-in. All right, what do we got? Let me get my jacket all straightened out. Yo-Yo, I'm going to be reading lips all day if you don't turn your volume on.
Well,
you can't hear me?
There it goes. That wasn't him.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Now I do.
My volume was on.
No, it was not.
Oh, that's not on my end. All right. Anne-Marie Anderson on YouTube asks, when applying for a green card, is collecting food stamps a public charge?
Yes.
Adriana T on YouTube, how long does it take for a U.S. citizen to file for his unmarried stepson over the age of 21 from Jamaica?
5 to 6 years.
Okay, Anne-Marie Anderson also asks on YouTube, when applying for a green card, do you have to live where your petitioner lives? If not, which address should be used when applying for AOS?
You live where you file your adjustment where you live. But if it's based on marriage and you and your spouse are living in different places, then you're going to have a problem. But the adjustment's filed to where you live. If it's like, for example, your adult son or daughter's filing for you, your adult son and daughter lives in Florida and you live in New York, you file in New York. You file where you are.
Okie doke. Wingy Chin on YouTube. My friend went to an interview last November, but the immigration office told her that her husband is not making enough money to support her, but the husband refused to get a better job. What advice can you give her to get her green card?
Get a second affidavit of support from somebody else and refile.
Okay, Anam Ismail on YouTube asks, VAWA I-360 spouse abuser. They gave me a prima facie determination letter. I expect a decision 1 year ago, but nothing yet. Why has this happened? Waiting, please. I'm from Pakistan.
They're taking over 2+ years now for VAWA cases. So it's not 1 year, it's 2+.
Got you.
D Gore on YouTube. My friend is waiting on her adjustment interview. Her 15-year-old son visited a month ago. If she decides to wait 2 more months, changes her mind and adjusts her status, can she get him in a school here or does she have to wait? Will she get in trouble if she sends him to school before 3 months?
Well, a child under 18 can't make a misrepresentation, so send the kid to school.
Okay, John Lim saying, my question is, do you think I'll be having a problem if I have an I-140 approved with a denied 485 at the same time I got married and applied for an I-130?
Yes, because with a denied I-485, they look to put you in deportation these days.
Barrington Jr. on Facebook. What's the latest news on the I-944?
New York, Connecticut, Vermont, you don't need it. Any other state, you need it.
Okay, we have one from Mercelinda on YouTube. She asked, my biometric was canceled last March 26th due to a pandemic. I didn't get a new notification. How long do you think it will take to get rescheduled?
What's her name?
Mercelinda.
Mercelinda, Magic 8 Ball. Will Mercelinda get a biometric within the next, what was she asked, 60 days? Within the next 60 days.
26.
All right, let's say within the next 60 days. 26. Magic 8 Ball says, better not tell you right now. I mean, nobody knows with this coronavirus. I don't know what state you're in. We don't know because particular states' immigration is open, partly open, not open. So hard to tell right now, honestly. Just know that if you did have a biometric scheduled, eventually you will have it again.
Danny on YouTube, we were approved for an I-130 on August 19th. We filed I-609A on January 20th. My husband has had a joint motion to administratively close proceedings since July 12th. Do we need a motion to reopen in New Jersey to South Carolina where we live, or a 212 or a 212?
This is for a 601A?
601A, yep.
Do the 212, it'll be faster.
Okay, Jerry Stewart on YouTube asked, my wife is a green card holder and she filed for me and our 6-year-old son in August 2019. I'm in Jamaica. When should we be hearing from USCIS?
Well, hopefully you got the I-130 approved. If not, it's taken about 12 months. When in 2019 was it filed?
August 2019.
You'll hopefully hear soon. Hopefully September, October, right around the corner.
Okay.
Hernandez Sammy asked from Facebook asked, my VAWA has been pending for 16 months now and no prima facie. I want to abandon it so that my new wife can file for me. What's your advice?
Sounds like a smart idea, because if you didn't get a prima facie, that means you didn't really submit a very, robust VAWA case. Doesn't mean you won't get approved. It just means it wasn't very robust to begin with.
Okay, Zneb on Facebook asks, I filed concurrently an I-360 and I-485 since July 2019. My EAD renewal was approved in August 2020. Now, how long will it take for me to receive my green card?
When was his
Lord, oh Lord.
when was the adjustment filed?
July 2019, and it was approved August 2020.
What was
the EAD?
His EAD.
EAD renewal.
I don't know anything about this guy's case. We just know it's an adjustment. Don't know who sponsored him. Don't know what state he lives in. Don't know if he did it right or not. Don't know if he went on an interview. But Magic 8 Ball, what's this guy's name again? Because we got to make sure the Magic 8 Ball knows the name. What? Stefford?
Z-N-E-B. Zeneb or Zeneb?
Will Zeneb get his green card within the next 4 months, Magic 8 Ball? Outlook not so good. It's going to be a while. It's going to be a while. All these adjustments are going to be very, very slow. Even the Magic 8 Ball knows, because you even watch Shannon in our attorney close-up. Everything is very slow these days because of coronavirus on top of Trump and pumpkin. You put a pumpkin and a coronavirus together, and you end up with a threat of furloughs and slowdowns.
Not a good thing.
Okay, the next one comes from a Beyonce and Jay-Z fan page on YouTube.
Okay.
I sent in my asylum application from is this meant to be June, or is this a place? Yo-yo. Well, I'm assuming it says that I sent my application from June, and I have haven't received any
Juneau, Alaska.
Juneau.
Maybe Alaska.
I haven't received any confirmation or an interview date as of yet. What should I do?
Wait, but hopefully it'll come soon. All right, if you just filed it recently, it's going to come fast.
I sent an application.
I don't know what's going on with Corona up in Alaska, but I think they got worse over the last few months.
All right, Leslie Rubio on YouTube asks, can I petition my daughter who's now in the USA with a B1 visa, even now with coronavirus?
Absolutely.
Cicely on YouTube, do I need to inform USCIS about my husband's death or wait until I am invited for the interview?
No, you can notify them about the death. If you filed an adjustment, you can submit a copy of the death certificate and put in the letter when you submit it to immigration with your case number that you want to automatically convert it to a widow petition. That way, when you go on your interview, hopefully you'll get through. Because if you notify them at the interview, the officer will say, okay, I got to pass this along. So hopefully if you do it in advance, when it comes time to the interview, you're done. Fingers crossed.
Okay, Hi Rain on Instagram asks, hello, I'm a citizen of India holding my B1, B2 visa, and my wife is a citizen of Mexico. She was on her DACA status while we were married in the U.S. and moved to India last year. She got her DACA before she turned 18, and her DACA was still active when she left the U.S. last year. Is she eligible to start a business in the U.S. and apply to get her E2 visa? Your help will be highly appreciated.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes. Is that it?
Impal. No, we have more if you want.
Let's do 2 or 3 more.
Okay.
Okay, let's do 2 more. So Layla Smith on YouTube, I am an LPR. My child is under 21 and lives out of the country. I'm waiting for the interview. Will the embassy ask for my 2020 tax return at my interview, or I will use only my 2019 tax return?
Well, right now it's the 2019. 2020 doesn't get filed till next April.
All right, our last one for right now is Ken Kibbet on YouTube, and they ask, as of today, I got an email notification saying that my advanced parole has been approved, and I should be expecting a notice in a few days, if not weeks. On the other hand, my work permit status only shows fingerprints taken. What should I expect? And yes, I filed the I-485, and I've been approved for the VAWA.
Well, you should expect your work permit to be issued, and hopefully you'll get an interview soon. If your VAWA is approved, you're going to get an interview. And I heard something about a work permit.
Yes. So the work permit status only shows fingerprints taken.
What, you never got a work permit? You should have gotten one if your VAWA is approved. If you have a pending adjustment, then you should also file an I-765. I'm not sure what he did.
Okay.
All right. With that, Kristen Urkiza recently spoke during the first night of the Democratic National Convention about her late father, who passed away from the coronavirus. Now, Kristen stole the night at the Democratic National Convention. She blamed her father's death on the carelessness of politicians, including Donald Trump, who she says her Mexican-American father supported and trusted. Let's watch. Kristen Urquiza's father, Mark Urquiza, died from coronavirus on June 30th at the age of 65. Kristen spoke at the Democratic National Convention, blaming his death on the carelessness of politicians, including Donald Trump. She stated that her father's only pre-existing condition was trusting the president. Not letting her father and other COVID victims die in vain, she has founded Marked by COVID and is working with Nuestro PAC in order to get the vote out. Kristen joins me today. Thank you for being here, Kristen. My deepest condolences to you. You wrote an obituary.
Yeah, I wrote an obituary in which I stated that my dad died from COVID-19, but that also his death, like so many others, were preventable. And it was due to the carelessness of politicians who continue to jeopardize the health of brown bodies over, in their coronavirus response.
Now, that obituary ended up having you speak at the Democratic National Convention the other day. Let's watch that.
Hi, I'm Kristen Urquiza. I'm one of the many who has lost a loved one to COVID. My dad, Mark Anthony Urquiza, should be here today. Dad was a healthy 65-year-old. His only pre-existing condition was trusting Donald Trump, and for that, he paid with his life.
So, tell us a little bit about your father.
My dad was a very generous individual who loved his family and friends. My dad was a guy that you could depend on, and he didn't deserve the ending that he got.
Now, you're an only child. How did that affect you? How did that affect the rest of your family?
With my parents, I always saw it as part of my responsibility to pull my weight a little bit in the household. And as I grew older, during the beginning of the pandemic, I was on the phone in January and February with my parents saying, this is really dangerous. We need to come up with a plan because I'm worried about you.
And your father's response to that was?
My father listened, my mother too. And, at that time we still don't know everything about coronavirus. What we did know is that, people with underlying conditions, might be more impacted. And my mother is diabetic. So we were all nervous about her health and making sure that we came up with a plan to keep her safe. So my parents were always believers as news came forward during the shelter in place to wear masks and social distance. They were, good to adopt those measures and work with me to keep figuring out how to mitigate risk as new information became available.
In your obituary, you wrote about the carelessness of politicians, the spread of misinformation.
Starting in, late April, early May, the Trump administration started to push this idea that we had to open up the economy at any cost, that we had to choose between public health and the economic health. And, what that message was taken and run with, several governors, including Doug Ducey in Arizona, where they were quick to reopen and took it even steps further, saying, we are on the other side of this pandemic. If you do not have an underlying health condition, it is safe to be out there. Those are direct words from my dad's governor. My dad listened to the governor. He voted for the governor. We're told in times of crisis to listen to the people in charge. That is what my father did.
Do you think, looking back, there was something that you could have said to your father that would have changed his mind? I know he went to a karaoke bar that probably he shouldn't have gone to.
I wish that I could find something that I could have done more. But I think part of why I have been so public about my experience is that I think I'm an example of an individual who went above and beyond in really cataloging my parents' activity, talking to them on a daily basis about what they were doing, bringing them more information, and kind of really interrogating their activities. You know, personal responsibility can only go so far. We also need it coming from the other side, in which our elected officials need to be issuing guidelines that they are working together on for a coordinated, data-driven national response. We can't have one without the other.
Did your father respond, say, well, Donald Trump says it's okay, my governor in Arizona says it's okay, he says there's no more coronavirus?
So in late May, when Arizona had opened, my dad and I talked about what he was doing. You know, he parlayed to me in a conversation, Kristen, I hear what you're saying about not going back to normal, but why would the governor say it's safe if it's not safe?
Now, after he passed and you wrote this obituary that went viral in the Arizona Republic, how did it make you feel?
The reason why I've come forward is because I represent tens of thousands of people across the country who are going through the exact same experience as me and who are not being heard.
Now, after you wrote the obituary, Joe Biden, the Democratic national presidential candidate, reached out to you. He wrote you a letter. What did it say?
It's actually right here. It said something to the extent of, I want to extend my deepest sympathy and love as you mourn the loss of your beloved father. And then it goes on to just share some very heartfelt condolences and some advice on just turning back into family and to be there. His prayer for me and your family is that one day my dad's name will bring just a smile to my lip instead of a tear. It was just very heartfelt and kind and nice.
And how did that go to you appearing in the Democratic National Convention giving a speech in favor of Joe Biden?
A couple weeks after I received the letter, I got a message from the Democratic National Committee asking if I would be interested in participating in some way with the convention. You know, I really thought about the opportunity and decided to take it, not only because it's a real honor, but also because, again, I wanted to be very clear that I am one of many people who are feeling this way and have been impacted by Donald Trump's terrible leadership. And it feels like the more that I raise my voice, the more I see others coming forward. And I have been really inspired by that.
Now, in your speech at the Democratic National Convention, you said that your father had no pre-existing conditions. His only pre-existing condition was trusting Donald Trump, and for that, he paid his life. That was the most powerful sentence I heard that entire evening. What has the response been to you since that went around the world?
I've had an outpouring of people working to connect with me and chat with me to learn more about my story. I've been also receiving so many messages that I can't keep up with of people who have said, you are speaking for me. I have lost this loved one, or I have a loved one in the hospital and I don't know what to do. I'm upset with Donald Trump. What do I do? So it's been overwhelming, but also it's so inspiring in the sense that I believe that when people come together, we're able to change the world. Listening into the convention, that's been reiterated as well from President, Obama, talking about democracy being active. We need to participate, and I'm seeing people ready to participate. And I think that will not only help us elect somebody who's more compassionate to the office, but we need that going forward to continue to make sure that these folks prioritize us when it comes to COVID recovery and response down the road.
Now, you're part of the Nuestro PAC talking about Get the Vote Out. And that's dedicated to getting out the Latino vote. And you just actually released a new commercial with you in it. Let's watch some of that.
My father died of COVID in an ICU room with a nurse holding his hand. My father, like so many others, should not have died from COVID-19. His death is due to the carelessness of Donald Trump and the politicians who continue to jeopardize our health through a clear lack of leadership.
So did you ever think a year ago that you were going to be such a vital part of getting Joe Biden elected?
I don't think I would have thought that. I do know that I was planning on playing some role in the elections in the sense of I wanted to support the Democratic nominee, whoever it would be, to replace Donald Trump. But I wasn't expecting to be talking to folks about the loss of my father. And quite honestly, I'd rather be knocking on doors right now than doing this.
Now, you also started the organization Marked by COVID. Obviously, Mark is your father. He passed from COVID. Tell us a little bit about that and what this organization is doing.
Yeah, thanks for asking. We decided also the name Marked by COVID because we want it to be a space and a home for folks who have been marked or impacted by COVID in a variety of ways. So it's about folks that we've lost. It's about the people we stand to lose if we don't prioritize public health. But it's also a place for workers and others who have been impacted by our COVID response in other parts of the economy. And so right now we're working with people who have been impacted or marked by COVID to help them work through ways in which to engage their local or federal elected officials and share their stories and hold them accountable. And we're growing rapidly. And I've talked to who've been impacted, Brad. It makes me so proud to be an American. These folks are just inspiring, that through their grief are willing to take a stand for their beliefs.
How does it make you feel never having to be able to say goodbye to your dad? He died alone in a hospital bed. Nobody was allowed to see him.
My dad didn't deserve that. And how does it make me feel? I think about it every day. I wouldn't wish that ending on my worst enemy. And that infuriates me as well as brings, a huge knot to my stomach and my throat.
Yeah, it's a horrible thing. 170,000 people died alone. And the funeral, I assume you couldn't have a big funeral.
That's exactly right. Taking it one step further as well, I'm not in the same household as my mother, so I couldn't even hug my mother during this whole crisis. This has been the most unusual way to deal with the most awful situation. And so I've needed to be really strong to keep myself together. We need to get serious about our coronavirus response and hold those accountable like Donald Trump, who have failed us.
Now, your father was a Trump supporter. He was also Mexican-American. What was it as a Mexican-American that he liked, because it just blows my mind, that he liked about Donald Trump? He called all of his friends and maybe even your father a rapist and a murderer. Says, you're a potential rapist and a murderer. You're from Mexico. What did he like about him?
I've never quite understood fully, but I can share with you some things that might help color the situation. So my dad was a Republican for most of his life. I do know that he liked the fact that Donald Trump was a businessman and that he promised to bring a different perspective to the position. But I think primarily as an opportunity, one, to distinguish himself from his parents, but then also to be safe. It hasn't been safe to be culturally vibrant in this country for a really long time. And so while I'm speculating here, I seem to think that there might be something there for my dad that, had something to do with how his politics developed over the course of his life.
That's very interesting, because the need to want to assimilate and be like an American, whatever an American would be. Statistically, coronavirus is disproportionately hitting Hispanic and Black and brown communities. What are your thoughts about coronavirus hitting these communities, especially? Why do you think it's happening, and what should we be doing about it?
This is part of the reason why I came forward as well. My community that I grew up in, which my dad lived in, Maryville, is 70% Hispanic, mostly immigrant, low-income folks, people who worked in the grocery stores or in the fields, hospital workers, et cetera. And, they had the highest proportion of cases in the state at the time in which Arizona had the highest proportion of cases per capita in the world. It was ground zero. And even here in San Francisco, we've been able to keep our cases really low and our deaths really low. But if you look at the numbers a little bit deeper, half of the cases are in the Hispanic Latinx community. While that community, we only represent 15% of the public. So this is a systemic issue. And I think that what coronavirus has laid bare is this longer and broader system of decisions and systemic racism and how it's really taken hold of our communities so that, you know, people of color are bearing the brunt of this virus. And I think that's what fuels me to be so outspoken, because these literally are the people who are the skeleton crew in our economy whenever we were shut down. These are the folks on the front lines keeping us afloat, and yet we're not prioritizing keeping them safe, making sure that they have what they need to not just serve us, but to hopefully thrive and have opportunity in this country. So yes, it's something I'm very passionate about.
What would you say to Donald Trump?
We need to have a federal mask mandate. We also need to make sure that people who are sick have the financial support to stay home.
I don't know why masks became political, and I don't even understand why science is political. We're arguing whether climate change is real or not. Scientifically, it's real. There's been a scientific study that has been done in a controlled group that says masks work.
The way I think about it, part of it has to do with our federal priorities for quite some time, right? So we are a reflection of how we spend our money. And the federal budget overwhelmingly goes to defense projects, which, while national security is a priority, it shouldn't eat up so much of the budget that we don't have funds for education so that people can learn what is the scientific method, so that, you know, we can't have a social safety net so that when people stumble, they have an opportunity to have a second chance.
If people understood what a scientific method is, nobody would question science.
Exactly. Education has become more of a check the box versus a journey in learning and an investment in our future. And if you look at places like Japan and China around the world, they have a totally different approach to the way that they think about education than we do here in the US.
Let's hope, just for education's sake, that Biden wins, because we know his wife Jill is going to make education a priority. She herself is a teacher. This is a show about reaching your American dream. Tell me about what your American dreams are. Have they changed? And have you reached them? And if not, what do you need to do it?
My American dream is that we build a more perfect union that really centers equity and opportunity so that all people can thrive. I care so much about this country as being an engine for us to really see human potential. And, you know, I hope to play a small role in that journey of making that happen for other folks.
Well, Kristen, thank you very much for coming on. I really, really appreciate your time. My condolences again on your father. You have done an unbelievable job. You were so sincere and so on point. You're very, very well spoken, and you're going to do wonderful work promoting everything that you believe in. And thank you for coming on.
Thank you, Brad, for having me.
All right. So Yo-Yo and Vanessa.
Yes.
That's where I got that idea from. She actually gave me the idea when I was saying, you know, some immigrants are just trying to meld in and reduce. You know, she was the one who gave me that idea, you know, try to kind of, you know, lower their cultural identity and try to assimilate more. I don't know if that's true or not, but.
I mean, I believe it is, because that was me as a child.
Right.
You know, I didn't want everybody to, yeah, absolutely. In elementary, I didn't want everybody knowing I was African. I would get bullied and made fun of. They would call me African Booty Scratcher. I changed my name to Jonathan instead of Yonathan. I even asked my mother once, I was like, because she's very fair-skinned, I was like, Mommy, are you white? Like, hoping that she would just be like, yeah, you know? So you get that as a child. If you feel that way as a child, imagine how you feel as an adult, like coming here.
I can understand. Vanessa, how did you grow up here? Did you try to hide it, or you were proud Dominican, or you tried to kind of, go a little, more under the radar?
So I related to her when she mentioned that she was raised in an area that was majority Hispanic and Latino, but where I grew up, we are like the most densely populated city within square mile in the entire United States, which just means that there's a bunch of immigrants just piled up one on top of the other. And for me, it's like when we came from the Dominican Republic as immigrants, everyone around us really spoke Spanish. So I didn't have that kind of experience. If anything, we were the majority. Right. And there was only, one white girl in my 8th grade class picture and one African-American classmate, and then everyone else was Latino. So I never really caught on to this idea of in order for me to be American, I need to be less Dominican.
Right.
It's a very different situation from mine. Yeah, very different. So, yeah.
All right, let's do not social media check-in. Let's do speed round. I lost track of where we were on our show.
Got your mind all messed up.
Got my mind all messed up. It says here on my list, social media speed round. So I saw social media out of the corner of my eye. Speed round. I gotta keep reading. They teach you that in law school, if you don't know the answers, keep reading. That's the first thing you learn in law school. If you don't see the answer, keep reading. All right. 50 seconds. Everybody knows the rules. I got to get 9 questions right in 50 seconds. Well, this place is kabooey.
Yeah.
All right. Who's starting today?
I'll start.
You always start, and then we.
All right, Ness-quick, you can start.
Come on.
Got it.
Come on, let's spin it around a little bit. Maybe if Vanessa starts, I won't go kabooey.
Blow it up.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see now.
All right.
Okay, I'm a green card holder from 2016, and I got a reckless driving charge. Can I apply for U.S. citizenship?
You need 5 years.
My daughter has an interview in September so she can enroll in school. Is her case considered emergency case?
I don't know what that even means. Yes, she can enroll in school.
Is the public charge for consular processing still suspended?
No.
My friend's husband is 12 years younger than her. Is that a problem for immigration?
Nope. Good for them.
Can a U.S. citizen with low income petition a married son?
Yes, but you may need an affidavit of support.
If USCIS requested my husband's tax transcripts, but we send them on time, do I file a motion to send?
No, that's not the answer. It's because I'm getting blown up.
Yeah, those long questions, man.
That wasn't you.
They were long. We tried, man. We tried.
I gotta start meditating.
Maybe if you do that.
I get so stressed out over this speed round.
I know I have a headache now.
After a long, hard day. I'm stressed out all day. I come here to enjoy Yo-Yo and Vanessa and the squad, and then everyone's got to stress me out over this speed round. I just need some peace. All right, last 3 questions.
We can't get them every time.
Yeah.
All right, so if USCIS requested my husband's transcripts, but we didn't send them on time, do I file a motion to send the transcripts?
For what? For USCIS? There's no motion to send transcripts. Just
USCIS requested the transcript.
Then you don't need the motion. Just submit them with the RFE. I don't even know what
they didn't send them in on time, so they're asking.
Then it's too late. Wait for a decision from immigration.
Okay.
If I filed on August 10th before the new ruling, will I still need to refill the I-944?
Only if you are outside of New York, Connecticut, or Vermont, yes. Otherwise, no.
Okay, last one is I became or is this our last one? Because we're doing 9, right? Oh, no, it's not the last one then. I became a legal citizen but pleaded guilty to credit card theft. Is this going to affect me renewing the green card?
Yes. They said a legal citizen. They're a legal green card holder.
Became a legal citizen but pleaded guilty to credit card theft.
You're either a citizen or a resident. It's a trick question.
Yeah, it says a legal
So if you were-
citizen.
all right, so you're a lawful resident. You don't even know what you have. You're an LPR. Yes, it will affect. Is that it?
And then the last one would have been number 9. My L1 visa got approved in March. No visa stamped on my passport yet. Can I go for a little vacation before my interview?
If you have an advanced parole, otherwise, no. Oh, he's on an L1. If you have your L1 visa is valid.
L1.
Yeah, you have L1 visa is valid. Yeah, for sure. That was the longest speed round in the history of Bradshaw Live. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, that speed round. You know what that speed round we're going to call it? We're going to call that the slow round. We are now going to answer 9 questions as slow as possible. Since we can't do it fast, we're going to enter Guinness Book of World Records slow.
Maybe we should have done that.
We have the rest of the week to get it. I feel it.
Can you imagine? It would be like, it'd be like scratching the chalkboard. Get out the answer, Brad. Get out the answer. No. All right. Comments of the day. By the way, I have my own comment of the day here from Jessica Levy. Brad changed the strategy and he messed up the whole speed round.
That's
There it is. Tomorrow.
Trial and error.
Yeah, tomorrow.
Trial and error.
Tomorrow hump day, it's yo-yo starts.
All right, our first comment of the day comes from Mrs. Bryce Cameron on Instagram saying, thanks for the great work you and your staff are doing in the country. Brad, may God bless you, your family, and your staff.
Oh, wow. Are we on Instagram Live?
We are.
I didn't know that. Okay.
I mean, we got this one from Instagram, so.
Okay.
Okay, the next one comes from Elizabeth Francis saying, an evening without Brad is like your life is stagnant.
Aw, very nice.
Ow. Indeed. Our third one comes from Suzette Samuel saying, hey Brad, this is Suzette. Much love and respect. God will continue to bless you, and this kiss has no COVID-19.
Yeah.
Sending you some safe kisses.
Yes.
Kissy emojis.
I will take all kisses from non-COVID people.
Yes.
Our last comment of the day comes from none other than Jessica Leamy saying you should have a segment called Magic 8-Ball Questions and Answers.
Jessica Levy, 2 comments in a day. Talking about I'll send kisses and everything. You're like, oh yeah. It's like, oh my God, thank God it's just syphilis. It's not COVID. At least you can take a pill or something, right? That was a bad joke. That was a bad joke. It was a terrible joke.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see y'all tomorrow.
Yeah, you say goodbye to everybody.
All right, everybody. You already know. Same time, same place tomorrow. We'll see y'all. We love you, Brad Squad. We out.
So, Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it. I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar Bernstein Law Firm, located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. you doing?